Hey guys, okay, so today I thought it would be fun to do a purple smoky eye. The other day I was doing some girl's makeup and she was super sweet and we were like trying to figure out what we wanted to do for the night, and she was like, I have all these purple eyeshadows and it makes me so sad that purple just doesn't work for me. And I was like, hold up, and I was like, of course you could do a purple eye, and I was like, and she freaked out and she's like, no, we can't do it, I'll look like I got punched in the face. And I was like, well, you just haven't had someone like me come along to fix it for you. So the following is going to be how to do a purple smoky eye and not look like you got punched in the eye. The really main key is you have to make sure that you have intensity. If you do a little wash of lilac or something, it's going to look like you got punched in the eye. If you go and you really make the colors nice and rich and pigmented, it's going to be great. I'm going to start off, and for the base I'm actually going to use a gel liner. This is from Maybelline and it's just like a plain old black gel liner. I'm going to go ahead and just take that on a angle brush. This is an OCC angle brush. I like that it's synthetic, so it works with powders and creams. So I would say if you're going to be using any brush for the gel liner, just make sure it's synthetic, so that way it doesn't get weighed down with the product. All I'm going to do is pretty much put this on my lid, just so I get a really nice, intense, rich base for the purple shadows. Okay, and then I'm going to take the same gel liner and I'm going to go right on my lower lash line as well as inside of my waterline. At this point, it's really not that important if it's perfect, you're just laying down a base, just so all the shadows that you put on top, whether they are super cheap or super expensive, are just going to look a lot richer and more pigmented. I'm just going to go in with a Sigma E55, just any flat shade brush will be fine. I'm going to go into my BH Cosmetics palette, and I'm taking this guy, which is a really beautiful metallic bluish purple. I'm just going to go ahead and press that onto the eyelid and build as much color density as I can. If you push the eyeshadow on, you get a lot more color payoff compared to swiping. When you swipe, you thin out the pigmentation. And you also get a lot less fallout when you gently press it onto the lid. Okay, then I'm just going to take same brush, same shadow, and just smudge a little bit underneath the eye just to start blending a little bit. Okay, so that's our base. Now we're going to have to start blending and adding some transition colors. So I'm just going to take a MAC 217. And since we have a lot of metallic going on the lid, I want to break it up with some matte. So I'm going to go into my Inglot palette, and I'm going to use these two guys. So this periwinkle blue, and then this matte kind of plum guy. Just going to mix them together only on the tip of my brush, because when I put it in the crease, I want the tip to deposit the color, and then all the clean bristles around it to blend it. If that makes sense. I don't know. Then I'm going to take the same periwinkle and matte purple again, and I'm just going to gently on the very edges of the blackened purple, just soften it to get more of a smoking effect. And it's okay if you go too far down and you start feeling like, oh my god, I look like a freaking panda, what did I do? Concealer. That's why I always do eyes first. It's so much easier to just clean up afterwards. Because if you do your face, you spend all this time on your face, you make it perfect, then you do this, you're gonna look crazy. So do eyes first. Please, you will thank me, you will love me. You're welcome. Okay, now to add a little bit more depth and make it a little bit smokier, I'm gonna go back in with my BH shadows, and I'm gonna take this really rich dark navy blue. I'm going to go back in with my flat shader brush, and I'm going to put that on the outer corners, both top and bottom, and then blend it out again. Alright, now I didn't do this on my client, but I just think it's lots of fun and it gives it a little interesting twist. I'm going to highlight with this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous aqua teal color just in the inner corner. Lots of people do it with like champagne and stuff like that. I've just really lately been into highlighting with like an opposite color just for like a little pop and making it more interesting. I don't know. You don't have to do this, I just think it makes it a little bit more fun. And we're taking a 217 again. Probably be better to take a smaller brush, but whatevs. Make it work. Now I'm just going to go in with a little bit more black liner. This is Urban Decay 24/7 in Black Velvet. I'm just going to line my waterline a little bit more, and then I'm also going to go right on my lashes and just smoke it out a little bit. Okay, so I just smudged some, put a little bit more. Now I'm just going to tight line. If you have very small eyes or you don't want your eyes to look too small, I wouldn't recommend doing this. Also keep in mind that it tickles like freaking crazy, but basically you're just going to lift and then you're going to place the liner inside the top lashes, pretty much. Ooh. Okay, so now all you need to do is just make sure that everything's blended seamlessly. So if I look straight on, I could tell that it's blended very nicely, but when I look back and close, you can kind of see there's somewhat of a harsh line still. So my trick to getting rid of that, so that way if you close your eyes, if you're taking pictures, just go back in with your flat shader brush, pick up that purple that we used on our lid, really wedge it into your socket, so where your eye just goes in, wedge it in, and then go back in with your blending guide, take those periwinkle shades and blend it out. If you don't put the shadow in the socket a lot, you won't get a nice transitional blend because there's no shadow to blend in there. So just really make sure that it's packed in the crease, and then you'll find you'll get a much softer, smoother blend even when your eyes are closed or you're looking down. Okay, so now you can see that even when I look down, you get a nice, soft blend. Last but not least, I like to clean up the eyebrows a bit, especially when you're working with darker colors, they can really get lost. So this is just a Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Duo in Matte Camel and Sand Shimmer. I'm going to take the matte shade, and this is going to become my brow bone highlight, and at the same time it's going to help clean and blend. So it's going to help blend down some of the shadow so it's not as intense, and it's also going to help just soften any edges. Okay, now all that's left is lots and lots and lots of mascara. I'm going to be using Lancôme's Grandiose mascara. It's got like a little swan neck applicator. I'm using disposables because I use this on clients, but I have heard that certain people like the swan neck. I don't know. I just want something nice and black and volumizing, and this does the job, so that's what I'm gonna do. Top and bottom, as many coats as you can. Bam! I'm actually really surprised. I really thought this was going to be a lot more thickening and it might get clumpy on me, which I wouldn't mind with the smoky eye, but it actually it's really separating and lengthening. I would say it gives more length and thickening, honestly. That being said, I did use a disposable, and I feel like with the rubber brush you would get probably more product, so it probably would be a little bit more thickening, but hey ho. And you guys probably saw I tilt my head back, so I would really recommend that when you're putting on your mascara, just to make sure you don't get it all over your shadow that we just spent, I don't know, 15-20 minutes on. So yeah. Other eye. Okay, so to clean up, I just used a depuffing roll-on gel from Sephora. I just like it because it's moisturizing, so it preps the under eyes for the concealer we're about to do. Cleans it up super easy and quick, and that's pretty much it. So, for face, I am going to use L'Oreal True Match Lumi. Yay! I love this stuff. I think it's so good. Very similar to Nars Sheer Glow. Maybe a little less coverage and not as long lasting, I will say that. In the wintertime, it's great for me, just because I find that it lasts 6 to 7 hours before it starts breaking down on me. so I really don't have a complaint with it. And I'm just using a Bare Minerals buffing brush to work it into my skin. Okay, so I just buffed in my foundation really nice and quick. Now to clean up the under eye as well as brighten, I'm just going to take Maybelline's Master Conceal in number 10 Fair, which yes, is the lightest. And I'm going to use it to highlight as well as clean up. So I'm going to put a little triangle. Okay, then to contour and warm up my face a bit, I'm using L'Oreal True Match powder, and this is in C8. It's super dark, so what I'm doing is I'm taking a e.l.f. mineral powder brush, which I really like, and I'm going to contour my cheeks, my nose, and my jawline. And as you can see, it looks really crazy at first, so I go back with my foundation brush and I buff it, and it just helps it look like it's coming from within, slightly, not really, but a little. And then back in with my foundation brush and just work it in. And then if you lose a little too much definition, all you do is take some of that highlight again and just cut the contour. Pretty much right below your contour, blending onto the jawline. Not below it, but just right on it. Okay, for eyebrows, I'm going to take Anastasia Beverly Hills Medium Brown Brow Wiz. Just gonna brush them and then fill them in. Not too heavy, but still a little bit more dramatic than I normally would. Since it is a smoky eye, I want some sort of definition. There you go. I really love Brow Wiz because it's so skinny, so you could really get brow strokes if you just do tiny little hair strokes. And it's really buildable, so you can stop. And then for lips, I wanted to keep it pretty simple, so I'm going to be using Wet n Wild, Mega Last Liquid Lip Color, and Pink Perfection. These things are really good. Once they dry, they're waterproof, very similar to like Lime Crime, Sephora, all those lip stains. And then I'm just going to be topping it off with Sephora Glossy Gloss and Crème Brulee, which is my favorite. And yeah. Okay guys, and that completes my somewhat wearable purple smoky eye. Just keep in mind that you really have to keep the colors nice, rich, and opaque, otherwise it will look funky chunky monkey, which we don't want. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it with your friends on Facebook or wherever. Just let the people see this. And if you want, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I changed both of them to Shots of Jaegger, so same as my channel, make it nice and simple for you guys. Please subscribe so you can see videos when I come out with them, and comment down below and let me know what you would like to see, just because there's only so many ideas I could come up with, so I'd really appreciate some input. Thank you so much. Have a lovely, lovely day. Bye.